Hey, what's going on guys, Kenzie here. In this video we'll learn how to create SparkSession. So let me start by invoking PySpark shell first, and by the time it's loading, just a few words on what this PySparkSession is. So since the version Spark 2.0, SparkSession has become an entry point, and before that they have been using Spark context instead. But anyway, if you want to work with RDDs, datasets, data frames, in this case, this initialized sort of initialized Spark object is absolutely essential. And here is a little bit of a difference. So if you just go straight ahead into the Spark console, no matter if if you're using the Scala version or the Python version, like I do here in particular, you already have this SparkSession available as Spark. They do explicitly mention this in the logs. So here we can simply say Spark, and then we can already reference the Spark context here, and for instance the app name. So it's sort of a like what's the name of the application. So it's called PySpark shell, and also we can check the master here, and the master is referenced to local. So so far so good, but if we actually want to write a custom Python script and interact with Spark from within the Python script, in this case we obviously need to initialize the Spark session. So let's have a look how that can be actually done. So the very first thing, I want to let PySpark, import the PySpark, and for this purpose, so if I just say like import PySpark, like this, it just won't be working. Just that would tell you like no module PySpark is found. So I'm using find Spark module, find Spark, and to initialize it I need simply to say find Spark dot init, and the path to where my PySpark is being installed. So in my case this is op Spark, like this. So from now on I can import the packages, and here for session in particular I need to say from PySpark SQL I want to import Spark session, like this, and here I want to init Spark session. So let's create this Spark object just like the one that we already have in the console. And here I say simply Spark session dot builder dot master. So here is an important point when we're specifying the master. So there might be two different scenarios if we're running this in a cluster or locally. Well, since here I'm creating the local session, I just need to say local. And then depending on how many partitions we want for RDDs, for instance, or generally it's like they say in the documentation, like generally just to easily understand what this non-zero integer number is all about. So how many CPU cores you want to use here. So I want to use one CPU core, and it's just okay to have one here. Then I need to explicitly define the app name, and let's call it like my Spark, for instance, and then get or create. Now this one might be a little bit tricky. So since we might have many Spark sessions running simultaneously, so here if the Spark session with the name PySpark already exists, in that case you will just reinitialize this variable. Otherwise you would create a new one from scratch, a new session from scratch. So finally I want to print session info, so just to make sure that it has been initialized properly. So here I can just simply say app name and Spark context dot app name, and excuse me, and the master. Okay, and the master here. So now in order to run this, I just say Python 3 and the file name SparkSession.py, SparkSession.py. And actually we should see, we now should be able to work with exactly the same session as we did in the PySpark shell, which means that from now on we are actually able to create data frames and do whatever Spark actually loads us. So yeah, we have this app name mySpark and master local one, which is exactly the case, which is exactly what we've specified. This is from my side, guys. Thanks for watching. Until the next time, and take care.